Here is Barkley, left side, big hole, Saquon Barkley! Uh-oh! Barkley! Goodbye! Dunk it in. Doncic, 47!
I'll give him a dunk. On a night you have 47 points, you get the benefit of the doubt.
Moss the back, Turris the snap, Moss the block. Burrow going deep, he's got him! Touchdown! Jamar Chase!
LeBron leaked out, they didn't see him. Here he is down court. It's up and in! Will it count? LeBron James at the buzzer! 23-yard completion. Here goes Taylor. With Pierce in front. Touchdown, Colts.
Curry gets free. Curry puts up a three.
Bang! Bang! He ties the game with 6.3 remaining.
Mahomes flushed out again all the way back. Turning the corner. Fires downfield. Caught. Touchdown.
Timeout. SGA. Probing. Piercing. Spinning. Hanging for the lead. And SGA knocks it down with just under a second to go. Hit road. Oh, come on. Justin Jefferson. You got to be kidding. Makes it look so routine. Greatest catch that never existed in NFL history.
Edwards puts up a three. It's good! Anthony Edwards once again. Edwards electricity here in game 4. Here's a first and goal. And he's signaling as he backpedals to the 30.
Oh, what a catch! Touchdown, Baltimore. Is it Francis? Giannis says no. Back the other way, Trent. Giannis inside. At both ends.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Matty Ice here with Profit Props. This is the Sharp Side. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. As always, we will recap yesterday. First, 4-0 overall. Tyrese Maxey over 26.5 points. That was sweat-free. I was comfortable playing that with or without Embiid. VJ Edgecombe over 1.5 threes. First half cash. We'll talk more about how good he looked yesterday in a moment. Anthony Edwards, kind of a reverse jinx bang. I'm not going to lie. Started off slow, similar to Jaylen Brown, who we haven't covered yet. Slow first half, turned into Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter. Incredible player. I'd like to say I was never worried, but there was a little bit of doubt there for a little bit. And then Jaylen Brown, 6 points in the first half. We bet over 28.5, finishes with 30. 4-0 sweep yesterday, bringing us to 160 and 122 on the season, plus 37.58 units. I did announce I have 2 giveaway winners for today. So shout outs to these are people that are continuously showing love on the timeline or on the stream. So shout outs to John and shout outs to Mark Burnside. You're the 2 winners. I've got 25 for each of you. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Now, special edition today. We do have a guest on. You guys will know him as Sosa Picks. I'm on his show calling the shots very often in the mornings. Sosa, good morning. How are we? Oh, I can't hear you. I got you muted. Maybe you got you muted. There we go.
Yes, sir. I mean, listen, we're back. It's great to be on for the first time with you. Coming off a nice college football night, back into the NBA. Last night definitely did well. I'm a big Ant Edwards guy, so was really, really happy to see him, win. And shout out to Chris Finch one time. I know it's like,
nice.
but like I love to see the coach go at it for his players. And we can honestly say that, as soon as he got kicked out the game, got every single call. You love to see it. I was super excited.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they were down like 10 when that happened. I knew they were winning that game. Like the energy in that building shifted immediately. And like you said, they started getting those calls after he did his thing. So, no, that was a great game. I know you're from the Philly area. What did you think about Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Philly last night?
I mean, I love seeing VJ down the stretch make some plays. It's been an interesting start to his career. He had an all-time high to start his first game, and you start putting unrealistic expectations on a rookie. And I think he has an extremely high ceiling. I love his motor. Obviously, love to see him close the game down the stretch. Also, couldn't really take too much out of it. I mean, that was the the Knicks' third game in 4 days, 2 travel spots. You kind of expect that. And then also, as a Philly fan, I mentioned it on Calling the Shots. What you hate is you're ready to put your money on Joel Embiid, and then they announce that he's not playing, which again is extremely irritating because night in and night out, there's no cohesion. And while I'm happy we won, the only thing that matters is having a level of cohesion to try to make a run for the playoffs at this point, right? Because we think the East is wide open. So, that's really my thoughts. It's a nice it was a nice opportunity to face a team that obviously is atop the conference, but ultimately no real takeaway. I really, I can't really judge anything because I thought New York would be a little bit gassed. They were a little bit smoked down the stretch, and Maxey was Maxey. Would I have loved to see Embiid play? And I would have, but it is what it is. Getting the W, still no takeaway though, because the players we saw play last night, if Embiid plays, don't play. So, that's where I'm at.
Philly plays today. Who's their matchup?
We play. Oh my goodness,
Dallas.
We play Dallas. And
I wonder if that was a strategic sit on Embiid because they know they're not playing a back-to-back. Knicks were very, tired, so it makes sense.
It definitely was. It definitely was.
And then is there any other takeaways? Any NBA thoughts from last night?
I got a couple notes. Let me pull my phone real quick because I kind of trying to prep. Just like as far as last night, the Cavaliers continue to lay eggs. Not cool. Not happy about that. Also Darius Garland turning into a jack in the fourth quarter when having 8 rebounds or 8 assists, and I have him for a double-double. Not ideal. The Hawks kind of getting smoked. Didn't see that coming to start. I think that the fact that Wemby continued to come off the bench and Atlanta at no point had any answer for them was insane. And then shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. Way to get those 30 points. Way to get those 30 points at the end, right? For sure when you check back in with 21 with like 4 minutes left, you're like, this shit is cooked.
Yeah.
And immediately he gets into the fourth quarter and immediately takes care of us, which was amazing. Because the only play I had in the game as well.
Yeah, I think the officiating was really poor, both sides of the floor in the first half. You could argue they were letting them play, but there was some shit, bro. Like, they looked like it. It went a little too far. So the officiating was a little bit of an issue in the first half of that game. I will comment on the Hawks game as well. I did not see that coming either. Hawks looked like flat out the gate, which is what you almost thought the Spurs would be, because they had played in the Cup game. Atlanta had like 7 days off. So yeah, that one had surprised me. Other than that, nothing really for me. What about as we shift into today? We'll go through them game by game. Really, no thoughts on 2 of them. Anything out already this morning?
I'm on Maxey everything today.
I like Maxey.
Maxey everything. Points, his assists, his threes. I like everything. I think that he's the volume, what he does for the team. Also, Nick Nurse just being able to put him in advantageous situations. I think they're a match made in heaven. I think they're like a perfect fit as far as what Nick Nurse wants from his lead guard and understanding the weaknesses and strengths of Maxey. I think we're only going to see him get better. I look for him to make this all-star push here, where like he's just 30 a game and continues to just ascend as a player in the. But like his points today are a go for me. Like I said, I really like his assist as well. I think he goes out and just absolutely hoops.
So I looked at Maxey myself. My favorite play was the threes. However, I want to wait and see if Anthony Davis plays. They're so much worse in the pick and roll without him on the floor. So they'll play like a drop with Gafford or something, and his 3.5 threes. You're a Philly fan. You see the volume, 8, 9, 10 attempts a night, easy. So if we get dropped, I really like that spot. And then some people think, Embiid's back. You got to watch. No, Maxey's volume actually goes up a little bit with Embiid there. So it's kind of an interesting spot for those two. But yeah, no, I agree with you on Maxey. Let's get into the first game tonight. We got a 5 p.m. game, Houston at Denver, or is it Denver at Houston?
It is Denver. It's
Houston
Denver.
at Denver.
Houston at Denver, yep.
Let's pull up the spread and the total here. I do have some thoughts, but I'm a little afraid. My first thought is when I look at my model projections, I lean over Alperen and Sengun's points. It's just a difficult matchup that he struggled in. But the last matchup, he had 33 points in it. I make this number closer to 24. Any thoughts on Sengun?
It's always fun when they go at each other. I think Sengun is in a good spot simply because you're not really going to get a ton of resistance defensively from Denver's front line. Denver's team defense is pretty trash. Let's be honest. They're not a great defensive team. Any team can really hang in with them unless they're just bricking perimeter shots. And I think it's a great opportunity here for Houston. I don't know if you remember this is like the double back-to-backs that you're going to get. They played each other a couple of nights ago. After that game, I don't know if you remember, but Ime Udoka, I don't know how much he got fined, but he definitely gave back some money that night where he basically said that the refs were being fanboys. They weren't really into the game. It was the worst officiated game he's had to deal with in a minute. I think that's something to look at. I mean, we kind of saw it last night. To reference back to the Minnesota game, as soon as the head coach got ejected, Minnesota got every call in the game. I think that could play a part as far as as far as running the game back. Also, not mad at Nikola Jokic triple-double. I bet it last time they matched up. I liked it again. The thing is, you got it at a playable number last time. I'm not sure what the line is because it's just a lean for me, but it's definitely something. Like I said, he just played them a couple of nights ago, got it again. If it's plus money like it was the other night, I can't see why you wouldn't take it. You're going to get this is a play that on average you're going to get a line of around minus 130, minus 120 for the majority of teams he's going to match up against. Right, he's a triple double machine. I think to get it at any level of plus money, I think the triple double for Jokic is in play. Also, wouldn't be mad at a triple double from him and a triple double from Sengun. I think Sengun could have some opportunities in this one, but I like my favorite play would probably be on an over. I think the game goes over. I think both teams can get some level of cohesion offensively. It's obviously a pick 'em on the spread, so I would side there with the home team. I would usually side with the home team, but I definitely do like you said. If we're getting the triple double for Jokic at plus money, and I like it to be a really competitive basketball game.
Yeah, you do make a very interesting point about. I like the Sengun triple-double myself. Not just because he had one in the last matchup, because the potentials were only 11 in that game, but because of how Denver defended him in the last matchup. Not just the number he got, but the way Denver now see, the big issue for me here are the shot makers going to be effective again tonight. What did Jabari Smith do in the last game? Versus Denver specifically, 4 threes on 6 attempts. So are they going to be spaced? They are going to be spaced out well. I think. Go ahead.
You notice with him in big games, he tends to show up.
Absolutely.
Noticed that about Jabari? Jabari is he seems to be a little bit more of a gamer than the other guys on the team. It seems like in those bigger games where things get a little tight, he seems to perform relatively well. I've been impressed with that. Even in the playoffs last year, I mean, that's part of the reason why he got his money.
Exactly.
And one of the few people that actually showed up when the chips were on the floor.
So I will agree with you. I have a lean to the assists over. I'm not going to run it officially, but I 100% agree with you. I do lean that way. Let me give my shout outs real quick. So always like to give shout outs to the likes and the retweets on stream. Shout outs to obviously you, Nicole, Miss Her Way, Mom Who Bets, Justo, Austin Reeves, CTB, Chef, Biz, SOS, Mailman, and Night Fox. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us today. Q from Cincy as well. Appreciate the regulars. If you're not already, make sure you're tapped in with Sosa as well. As I said, I'm on calling the shots most mornings, and sometimes I'm in there stirring the pot. So It makes for good conversation. It's NBA. You should just name it NBA data plus drama. Because that first 30 to 40 minutes is just us yelling back and forth about who's better and who's not. And then we get into the plays. So
I try to be fair. I try.
Let's move on to Jamal Murray. I have a slight lean over here. Not enough for me to bet it, but I do lean over his points. What are your thoughts for Jamal in tonight's game?
I can't bet it. You can't go wrong with anything that has to do with him right now. He's just on an all-time heater. I mean, really, if we're looking at him just over the last couple of weeks, he's been unbelievable, right? I mean, he's got 30 plus and 3 of 4. He had a 50 burger against Indiana, and I think head to head he's had, like, I think 35 in the last game, 26. I like him to score. I mean, obviously, but again, he's just been so good that I think you can kind of blindly bet a 23.5 point line. I mean, his last 10, what do we have him at? I think he's over this number in,
I think 7 or 8 of the last 10.
7 of the last 10. The 3 games he didn't, I think 2 of them were blowouts, so that makes sense. And one of them was an actual competitive basketball game where they actually won, even though he played poorly. So, I'm not mad at the 23.5. His threes aren't a bad look either. I mean, he's coming off he hit 3 against the Rockets the last time he played them. And head to head, he's hit 3 in 6 of the last 7, dating back to 2023-24. So, I mean, his threes are probably actually the over 2.5 obviously is juiced at minus 162. But both games he's seen him this year, he's hit 3. And then 4 of the 5 prior, he's hit 3 as well. So definitely his threes, if not his points.
Yeah, I agree. Can't go wrong with points or threes. I think you could maybe go 3 ladder here. I don't hate him to 4. You could go over 2.5 minus 160, like you said. Then you could go over 3.5 plus 160, basically. So I'm okay with both of those looks. I might have a builder with Jamal in it tonight. Yeah, I might have a builder with Jamal in it. I'm not upset with anyone running that straight, though. Like, I'm not running it just now, but I might run it before the end of the day. Yeah, I like that. There's a couple 23s in market as well. Rivers, DK, looks like Novig. Looks like some books have definitely. FanDuel's at 23, Fanatics at 23. We got books going to 24 as well. Yeah, I like this over. Leaving it as a lean for now, but it's pretty close for me.
Sure.
I will say I had one other question in this game. First of all, if you have anything Kevin Durant, obviously people would want to hear it. My model projections are basically painted right with Durant, so I have nothing. But obviously, key player here. Any thoughts on Kevin Durant? You can get that 25 plus at 122, which is kind of tempting.
Kevin Durant coming off his he came out killing against New Orleans the other night. Was like 7 for 7 to start the game, had 4 consecutive threes in the first half, looked amazing, and then kind of tapered off. I think KD, I've gotten away from betting him a little bit more this season. His number being at 24.5. I mean, it's Kevin Durant. I mean, can't be mad at it. He's coming off a 25-point game against them. He also had one of his season low performances in a matchup earlier in the season in November. I mean, he does have relatively good history. I like the 24.5. You just look at him as far as like his track record, no matter the team that he's played for, he's been relatively good. The 24.5, I think it's a go. You know, you get just a matinee game being played. I expect it to be a lot of points. Listen, there's nothing really impressive about this Denver defense. Okay, they
just have a really good offense.
They rely on efficient offense and just positive from offensive push. So, I wouldn't mind Kevin Durant's 25. I mean, 25 points for Kevin Durant. I mean, we got a 15-year sample that says that's a walk in the park against a bad defense.
Yeah, no, agreed. 1 second here. Yeah, 17th in defensive rating for Denver, which is right about what I thought, just under average. My other look in this one, Cameron Johnson, I have under PAs. Now, there's not many books out on this, so that's why this is honestly why I haven't ran it yet. 15 in the last one. I know he played well versus Orlando. Versus Orlando, but I projected this number at about 15, and we could play the under 16.5. They're 8th verse spot up. They're okay in transition. Again, there's like 4 books open on this, so I'm not betting it yet. But any thoughts on a Cam Johnson under PAs?
Not really, no. I think I'm as a North Carolina fan, I've been overly critical of Cam. I mean, as of recent play, he's been better. Not really looking at too much from him though, from a betting standpoint. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for. I might start betting him post All-Star break. I think he's become ingratiated in the offense, and I think what you'll see is the players that you believe are the difference makers for this team. They'll begin to separate themselves as the season goes on, and but right now I'm hesitant to bet anything on him.
Okay, honestly I agree. I'm not going to run that under. Anything other in this game? If not, we can move on. I will leave the audience with this: Jamal Murray's points is close. If you made me make one bet in this game, it would be Jamal Murray's points, and I'm not mad at the Sengun triple-double is like a sprinkle in a lotto.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next game. Boston versus Toronto. This is a tough spot for Boston. Competitive game last night, back-to-back.
Yeah, it's really, for me, it's a stay away. I do, however, like you do like bigs against the front line of Boston. They tend to be very, very good on the boards. Outside of Podol, you don't get a ton of conventional bigs going against them. Head-to-head, he's had 11-plus rebounds in 4 of the last 5 matchups that he's played against them. The last time he played 25 minutes, had 12 rebounds chances, and just had a bad game. Just bad. So Jacob Podol over 8.5 rebounds is not a bad look. He's got really, really good history against them. I mean, and then obviously it's very difficult for me to just go against like something that we've seen a bunch of times just because he missed it in the last matchup. You know what I mean? From a head-to-head standpoint, he's been really good. His usage, every time he's gotten 30 minutes against this team in the last 4, like I said, 10 rebounds, 12 rebounds, 13 rebounds, 11 rebounds. And then the last game he had 4, which again to me is very odd. You get a better price on the same line as last time. It's worth the bet for me. And I'm not even a Podol guy. This is just trend-based and what I believe, to be water finding its level.
So I actually 100% agree with you. I have three plays wrote down in my notes to go over in this game. It's Jakob Podol over his points or PRs. It's Jaylen Brown over his points and Queta under his PRs, but only if Podol plays because he is questionable with the back. So if Podol plays, I do like the Queta under. Outside of that, I do want to talk about JB, but they are coming off a back-to-back, and his back-to-back numbers look really bad this season. It looks like they've kind of like, if they haven't played well to start the game in a back-to-back this season, they've just threw the towel in early. 24, 21, 25. Competitive in the last game versus Cleveland, but only 19. So that's going to probably keep me off of Jaylen Brown, but I do lean over. I'm at about 31, 32 points. I will say it was a sweat last night. He did cash for us, but it was obviously a sweat. We had 28.5. He finished with 30. But, I mean, if you look at this number, he's been killing it. We can talk about Toronto in the pick and roll. 9th, so they're not bad. They are 28th versus catch and shoot, which we know JB can get going from there. Derek White had a huge night. What are your thoughts here on Jaylen Brown?
You said everything for me at the beginning, bro. They're on a back-to-back. They're facing a young, athletic, upstart team. If they don't get out to a good start, they'll throw the white flag in. We saw this happen a couple times this season where it's just they don't come out with any sort of energy. The other team is a little bit more motivated. I think Toronto's been off since, Sunday?
Yeah.
yeah, give me Toronto on their home floor to win the game outright. And I don't want to say run them out the gym, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's kind of like the same storm that New York walked into against Philly last night. So I would I'm not betting any props. I think this could get ugly, and I just would prefer to be on the other side. The only lean I would have would be Poeltl's rebounds, but also I would be afraid of betting on Jaylen Brown on a back-to-back. He hasn't scored over 20 on a back-to-back in any of the last 5 back-to-backs that he's played.
I agree. No, I 1,000% agree. I lean over, but that back-to-back is what'll keep me off 100%.
He hasn't cleared 20 points on a back-to-back all season. It's impossible to get more money on it.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see some late scratches here.
That as well. It's not that wouldn't shock me, but again, he hasn't cleared 20 points on a single back-to-back all year. And this is the guy who's averaging 30 points a game. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why he's not averaging 35.
Yeah, facts. No, I 100% agree there. We have a request on Jordan Walsh, and I'm going to let you take this over because I have banned him. So what are your thoughts on Walsh points and rebounds?
Well, see, this is the thing. You're asking the wrong guy. I try to stick to props more so on like stars or role players on the team that I support because I follow them a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
I like Walsh. Great story. I'm happy that he's found his role, but I don't really have an opinion on him because anything that I would bet on him would either be completely based off of data or trends or me trusting another handicapper that I know knows the team. Like if Mike Jones told me to bet on Jordan Walsh today, I'd bet on Jordan Walsh, right? Because I know he knows the team. It's just like if I'm going to bet on a Sixer, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't want to give anybody bad information. If we went off of just trends and data, then that's another viewpoint. But personally, I've not bet very much on Jordan Walsh, and I think the only time I've ever bet on him is when Mike Jones has bet on him. So I'm kind of hesitant to even really give any level of analysis because I don't have knowledge on it, and I don't want to talk to you about someone that I don't really gamble on.
So I will say I think I've bet on him twice this year, and I'm 0 for 2. And it's like it's one of those bets where you bet like over 11.5 PR. You beat the injury news. It closes 13.5. You think you got it in a bag, and then he finishes with like 4. So the 2 times I've bet on him, it's been awful experiences. I think now every time I watch him, it's a hate watch. So unless I'm betting his under, I just don't have anything. So I'm glad you have nothing. I have nothing there as well. A couple things on the Toronto side of the ball. We've got Quickly, we've got Barnes, we've got Ingram. I'll start with Ingram because my lean is over there. He had a 30 ball in the last matchup. I will say he has been fairly inconsistent this season. Even without Barrett, the numbers are like 50%, 55%. Some of these games are sub minutes, but really only one under 30. So, played really well recently, had a tough patch here. Former Lakers, so I followed his career. I like him as a player. I want to bet the over here, lean over. But what are your thoughts on Brandon Ingram?
I'm a Brandon Ingram guy. But I'm not opposed to it, but I'm staying away from the majority of just props in this game. I don't think this is a great game for props.
I agree.
I think that what happens is Boston will go on the road. They'll want to shoot a bunch of threes. Toronto wants to chase you off the 3-point line anyway. It could make for some pretty hideous basketball, to be totally honest with you. It really could.
See, and that's what worries me too, and it's what's going to keep me off. I know this game is like, is it a pick 'em? What is the line?
It's all bro. We have 3 games, I think, where the line's 1.5. I think this is one of them too.
Yeah, it is exactly 1.5.
3 games, 1.5. So basically, pick'ems for 3 games. And I think in all three games, a team that played last night is playing.
Yeah, that makes sense why this line is what it is as well. Okay, I agree with you, bro. Sean, appreciate you tapping in. I know he's a regular on the Calling Our Shot show, resident Pacers fan. He likes the rebounds for JB in back-to-backs. I did not look at it well. This season, it's split looks good in the games he gets the minutes. If we go back to last season, it looks better. And if you remember, if you follow the Celtics, they always tend to rest somebody, a couple people in these back-to-backs. So they could be, higher spots, minute spots, usage spots for JB. I'm not mad at it, but I'm pretty much in agreement with Sosa here. Unless it's an under on like a star who I think is going to be playing sub minutes, I don't want to have anything in this game. We do have a request on Hauser's threes, though. Any thoughts there? He seems like he could get some extended minutes tonight.
Yep, not mad at a bench guy in a game where, back-to-back, you probably try to save some of your starters for the minutes. And like you said, we're going to get an announcement that Derek White's not playing or somebody's not playing.
Yeah.
Also, if I wouldn't be mad at Anthony Simons line. This is the type of game where he could, this is the type of game where he messes around and hits 3 or 4 threes.
That's why the line's already 2.5 plus money. Books already know. They're like, yeah, they're not giving us 1.5 today. Yeah, that tells me. I agree with you completely. Like that tells me everything I need to know. Somebody's sitting, and you're right. It's perfect. The drop coverage. Oh my gosh, he should chuck. I've actually had a lot of success attacking Simons in those spots. Mm-hmm. Although I've been more conservative and like had the confirmation that White or JB or Pritchard or 2 of those 3 are out. But I'm not mad at the Anthony Simons look, bro.
2 and 2.5 at plus 150. I mean, plus 154. Again, if you think you get extended run. Also, his minutes has just been weird in the way that the coaches distribute them.
Agreed.
It's just very strange how his minutes are just dispersed.
I know. I thought he would be like – I thought he would play Malik Beasley on the Pistons minutes. I thought he would be off the bench but 28, 29, 30 locked. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I mean, we can see here. This isn't just blowout shit. This is like – I will say Joe Mazzulla, if he doesn't play well early, Joe doesn't play him. And I think Boston's so deep at guard that they can almost just ride whoever's playing well, and that really leads to him losing minutes.
Yep. He's just looking for whoever's hot that night, and he sticks with that formula. If you're hitting shots tonight, you're going to get the playing time down the stretch. That's how Mazzulla – it feels like that's how Mazzulla gives out minutes. Or, you know what I mean? That's how he does it.
No, completely agree. So I do like the overs there, but nothing official. We've talked about this. We're probably not running anything, but I should at least touch on Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel quickly. Scotty Barnes played really well in the last matchup over his RAs. Soared them as well. What are his rebounds per game without Jakopoto this year? Like, really no different than with. Yeah, not much difference there. Yeah, I'm gonna have nothing on Scotty. You good to move to the next one?
Absolutely.
Cool.
He also his double-double's not a bad look in regards. He got one last time they played, and like he's got 4 double-doubles in his last 6 games against Boston straight up over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, and we're getting a plus 145. This is not a cupcake matchup right here. Definitely not. And then, like you said, just had one versus Boston. Dude, last year, Scotty Barnes over 7.5 rebounds used to print me so much money. Haven't ran it as much this year. I don't know if the edge isn't there, if I'm not looking for it as much, but I used to print on Scotty's boards over.
Yeah, plus 145. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, plus.
No, I 100% agree.
Not a bad plus money play right there. He got four double-doubles in the last 6. 4 of the last 6 matchups against them, and had 11 rebounds and 8 assists last time they saw each other. He gets them again on a sweet travel spot. Worth it for me.
You just said a sweet travel spot.
Yeah.
Watch me put together some crazy ass Scotty Barnes, Alperen Sengun triple-double later today.
Right. I'm not mad at the Alperen.
Like $10, you know what I mean? Pay out like fucking $500.
or even like the double-double was, I mean, the Şengün's double-double was probably pretty sweet, but probably not that great. But, like I like him. I think Scotty, you look at the numbers and just how he's played historically against them, he likes matching up with them.
Sometimes I'll run the 8-8 parlay too. I've had a good bit of luck with that this year. When you're like, this guy's definitely getting a double-double tonight or a triple-double tonight, like Giddey and Jalen Johnson, run their 8-8. Cade, run that 8-8. Luka, run that 8-8. You know what I mean? You're still going to be at plus money. So, yeah, Obviously shop around, get the best price. But all right, let's move on to Indy versus New Orleans. This game is a 2-point spread. Again, very competitive. Not much on the injury news to talk about. Naismith has been out. Murray has been out. Bradley's a game-time decision here, so that does help or hurt them defensively under the rim. More minutes for Jay Huff. Any thoughts coming into this game in a pretty competitive one?
Oh, yeah. I'm on Trey Murphy over 19.5. He's been great as far as just scoring the basketball. I think he's 8 of his last 10, 8 of his last 10, 7 straight over 19.5, 25 plus in 1, 2, 3 in 3 of those games, 30 plus in 2 of them. Give me Trey Murphy over 19.5. Indiana doesn't play great defense. I think the matchup ensues them. It should be pretty sweet. Not mad at his threes either, but his points in particular. Trey Murphy III over 19.5 points. That's official for me. I don't see a world where he won't perform well. Again, his threes I'm not going to touch. He hasn't really been making 3+ threes. He's only hit 2. You're getting the 2.5 at plus 140. But I have no interest in the threes. It's Trey Murphy's points. That's it for me. Everybody wants to bet on Derek Queen. Best of luck. I don't really bet on rookies unless it's Cooper Flagg right now. And the other lean would be Nembhard. Nembhard's points and assists. He missed the number last time by a hook. His number is 24.5. His usage has been off the charts for them. See,
Nembhard, yep.
So it's like we so not mad at any of those. I just think it's a good matchup. Neither of these teams are really great defensively. They play with a lot of pace. They try to get out. I think for me, other than like expectations or bets, I'm going to be betting on Trey Murphy. I think that by the end of the season, we're going to consistently be able to bet on Trey Murphy, Jeremiah Fears, and Derek Queen. But we're only rocking with Trey Murphy today, me personally.
So I have a lot of thoughts about what you said. Let me start with the Trey Murphy stuff. I don't think a lot of people realize Poole and Zion being on the floor is not really a negative for his game. You can argue that volume and usage may slightly go down, but the quality of his shots soars. I love the Trey Murphy points. I'm probably going to tail. I make that number 23.54. So I completely agree with the Trey Murphy stuff. Zion and Poole being there actually help him. Some people's argument to the Trey Murphy overs would be, well, they're number 2 from above the break. They're number 12 versus spot up. That doesn't worry me either. While Trey can spray, like you said, he can get them buckets off the dribble. And they're 20th in the restricted area where he's scoring nearly 40% of his points. I agree with you. I don't like the threes in this matchup. I would go points at 19.5. So complete agree there. Now, Nembhard, we're agreeing as well. I went a different route. This morning, you could get 15 and 6 SGP for, and I didn't bet it yet. I'm going to put it together again. It was like minus 130, and I'm putting it together now.
And also, real quick, another thing about Trey, why you like his points, is that Trey's becoming much better at drawing fouls.
Yeah, exactly.
That's something too that we don't factor in. I mean, because it's a three-point dunk league now that you don't realize. If a guy's getting to the line 6-7 times and his line's at 20, You mean to tell me he can get 1/3 of his points from the line? He shoots 91% from the foul line.
Yeah. No,
So it's a perfect storm. If he's getting you, that's 6-7 free points a night if he just decides to put his head down and go to the rack.
And this game, like we said earlier, it's a two-point spread. We should get a competitive game. I really like the Trey Murphy points over. Big fan of that. Also, I like the Nembhard PAs, but if you build it 15-6, you get -101 on FanDuel. Big fan of that builder as well. Those are probably the two ways I'm leaning this morning. Meet me at the Swan Station. Appreciate the like and the retweet, Rubber Band Rah, and Jeremy Fellman. I've seen you in the Calling the Shots Discord or Spaces. Appreciate y'all for tapping in this morning.
That's my guy, Reed Rich. Meet me at Swan Station. Shout out to him.
Okay, yo, shout outs, bro. Appreciate you tapping in.
Yeah, it's my guy. He's always locked in with everything that we're doing.
Hey, shout outs, man. Showing love is free. I try to say it all the time. We go up here, we give you our time. I mean, shit. Usually I'm live with Sosa from 10 to 12, and then I'm up here from 12 to 1:30, and then sometimes we'll jump on prop spaces at 6:30. So showing love is free. Make sure you like and retweet this, and make sure you're giving Sosa a follow. We would be remiss not to talk about Zion, right?
Yeah, Zion's one of those guys where it's he's like an infinite episode of Dumb and Dumber. Like every time, I think he can't do anything like to make me hate him. He gets like a tomahawk 360 dunk, and I'm reeled back in immediately. So he's one of those guys where it's you love him and then you hate him and then you love him again. So
I did not watch the last game. Do you know why he played 21 minutes in an overtime game? Is it just coming back from injury?
Came off the bench. He didn't start. They brought him off the bench, and this is something too that I'm actually glad we're talking about this. Is that they did the same. They kind of approached it the same way that San Antonio did with Wemby. Listen, and also the thing about Wemby and Zion, why it will work is because they both started their careers on minutes limits. So
True.
what you did there. So what you can do is the whole idea of go out there for 6 minutes and bust your ass because you're only getting those minutes.
Yeah,
it makes their efficiency go up by force. Yeah. So I think that's part of it. It's like and people forget that Wemby was on a full minutes restriction his entire rookie year. So he knew that, listen, I'm only going to get 20 minutes. I better make the most of these 20 minutes. And that's what you're seeing with a lot of these coaches now is that they're playing the players for 5-6 minutes, but they're telling them, listen, go as hard as you can for those 6 minutes because that's all you're getting. So I think that what you're going to see that the continuation of whatever it is from him. I think it will continue to go up because he'll understand. Listen, I'm not getting in the game for more than 15 minutes.
No, that's fair. And like you said, he's been there. He's been there before. He's dealt with this before. It's not a new spot for him. I like that. I didn't realize he came off the bench last game. Can I ask you about Saddiq Bey? What are your thoughts there? I will say it's not a great matchup because they do defend the three-point line well. You're already on the Trey Murphy overs, which I really like. But do you have any Saddiq Bey thoughts? I don't know how to spot his minutes. That's the big thing here with me.
I'm not betting on him. A lot of my friends, I know Sean in the comments, he's bet on Saddiq Bey quite a few times this year. I have no thoughts on Saddiq Bey, to be totally honest with you. If you've been betting on him and he's been making you money, keep doing it. That's how I look at it.
I have bet on him and he's made me bread, but I don't like this matchup for him. So I think it stays as a lean for me. And if I had to choose between Saddiq Bey and Trey Murphy, I'm taking Trey every time in this matchup. His minutes are safer. So, yeah, it's Trey Murphy for me. For Saddiq Bey, though, I am closer to 15. So it's about 3 points on each of their overs.
What about his
minutes? That's my question. What are his minutes? If it's 34, I want to hit this line. If it's sub 30, I don't. That's really where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm definitely taking Trey Murphy's over in that game just because it's less reliant on the three. In that Memphis game, well, I don't know. Cam Spencer's probably blowout proof, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, I like Murphy's points more than Cam Spencer's.
Is Cam Spencer back? I know they had him and his brother were. I think they had like a death in the family or something. They had like they missed the last game due to personal reasons. Is he for sure playing?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Let me go here.
I didn't do any research on that one, to be honest with you.
We've got lines up at a lot of books. Yeah, he must be good.
Okay. All right. Because I know
he played well. Do you have any thoughts on Cam Spencer?
He's a hooper, man. I like him. I just like his game. I don't have too much. I've only bet him. Prop actually was the first person to put me on to when he started to bet on him. So he's a coin respecter for sure, and I think he's going to continue to ascend. I think he's a perfect fit for what Memphis wants to do. He's a floor spacer. He gives you a little bit more on defense than people would expect. He boards up to the best of his abilities, and I think he's a really good connective passer as well. That's like an under appreciated statistic. It's like being or ability. It's being a connected passer, being a player that can get the ball and be the middle guy of the hockey assist, where it's like you get the ball, you give it up for a better shot, or you create the pass that leads to the bucket. He's really good at that, and then also it helps because you're not really on the scouting report to start. I don't know how long that's going to last, but those are really just my thoughts on Cam. I think he's a really good pro. Obviously, against Washington, anything's possible. Is Memphis at 10.5 points? Are they 10.5 points better than anybody?
Good question.
Washington's 3-20 though. They're absolutely horrendous. So there's no disputing that they're terrible. So while I like I like Cam Spencer's threes, I think that he might be in a perfect situation because he gets extra extended run due to the team being bad. Also, I like what Ross just said in the comments. Jalen Wells points. That's been a cash wagon here the last couple of weeks because he's kind of given up shooting threes and he's been getting his points. I know that for sure because I bet his points a couple times. Like I said, the last week and a half, points have been about as safe a bet as you can get in the NBA.
I've been betting his points without Ja. We're also without Ja again tonight. I might be on a Jalen Wells over.
I might be rocking. I think I would rock with him with or without Ja, to be honest. I think he fits what they want. And I think that what they're getting is that I think what the coach is doing now is what you're seeing is they're mixing in you have floor spacers to go with the guards that you have, right? I think Jalen, his 3-point shot's a bit inconsistent, and I think part of what you see too is that the coach is allowing players to maximize their skill set. Coward was having problems shooting the three. He's still kind of having some issues shooting the three. They've been getting a lot of stuff more in between, more like the catch and shoot mid range, or like putting the ball on the floor a little bit more. And then you kind of mix it and match it with the other guys coming off the bench, like Aldama and Spencer, as far as being the spacers. So I like Wells' points for sure in this one. I think he continues the trend of where he's been the last 10 days or so.
I promised myself when we came into this stream that I would not bet on this game or the Charlotte-Detroit game. It's a 13-point spread. I'm staying off Jalen Wells because this year I'm up 37 units. In games of spreads of 10 or more, I got to be down 5, 6, 7, maybe 10. I just gave up completely. I used to think that if it was within 12, it would stay out of a blowout. It could be variance. It's a very small sample, but every time this year, it's a game of 10 or more. I just can't hit it. So Wells, I love the over. If this game was any kind of competitive, I would run it. I'd probably run it for 1.5. The only reason I'm not running this is because they might beat the shit out of him, and I don't know if he's closing when they do.
Absolutely.
All right. Do you have anything else in that game? My fault.
Fuck no.
Okay, good. Let's go to your Philly game. Dallas versus Philly. Embiid should play today, right? Is that your assumptions? I think it was just a strategic rest spot.
Sure.
It's so hard to tell with Philly. Yeah.
I just don't know. It's the head coach he just does whatever the hell he wants. I mean, I think that like we just don't know nightly, bro. You know what I mean? You just got to kind of just hope that he does play. If he plays, you like the matchup. What's crazy is it doesn't matter who's on the other side. If Embiid's healthy, you like the matchup.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed.
He's one of those guys. Like whether it's a depressed number or not, it's like, bro, we've seen this guy average damn near 40 for a 35-game stretch. You know what I'm saying? We've seen him do it before. He's incredible when he's healthy. We just haven't seen him at that point yet. In a cool minute. The 23.5, I can't be mad at the 23.5. He's still questionable on the game. Maxey should be straight, right? Because remember, Maxey missed a couple of games. He's playing on a back-to-back immediately after returning from injury. An interesting thought process there. Paul George coming off a 7-point game last night. I do like his threes. I like Paul George's threes tonight at plus 128. And like I said, I can't be mad at Maxey's points at all. Right? Last time he's seen them, he put up 33. Now, granted, that game was in Dallas, and he is from the Dallas area. He's from Texas. So, like, I understand why people are, he went off. But I think Maxey performs well. He's always performed pretty well against Dallas. Last two games, he had 33. In the game before, he had 24. So, not necessarily great. Hit 3 threes in the last matchup that he saw them. Last time he played, points and rebound. I mean, he was absolutely magnificent the last time he saw them play. He's really good against he's got a relatively good history against Dallas. Not betting on VJ Edgecombe. Tough to bet on rookies on back-to-backs. I would not recommend that to the majority of people. And then on the Dallas side, the play of the day, and this might be my just favorite play of the day, period. It's Najee Marshall over 13.5 points and assists. It's my play of the day. He has been
regardless of injury news, or do you lean one way on AD?
Doesn't matter about it. Don't matter who plays. It don't matter if AD's playing. It don't matter if Gafford's playing. It don't matter if just go look. He's been consistent as it gets. It feels like a misprice because Najee's been wildly consistent for them, but he's not a household name. People don't really, but the points and assist combo, that's where I'm at with him. I used
to print on his points over or rebounds over last year because they were, if you remember, they were really hurt late in the year. So there'd be times where it would be, he was like the big that started, and they'd give him like a 7.5 line. He'd go get you a double. So I like the Najee stuff. You
know where he's from too?
No, where he from?
He's from around the way. He's from Jersey. He's a Jersey boy. Like he's Atlantic. He's an Atlantic City hooper.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah. He's a Jersey boy, just like Nas Reed, the Jersey boys, the Jelly fanboys, you know.
Okay. I do have thoughts in this game. I have some things to run about you. Beginning the stream, we spoke about it. Maxey's threes over. That one I'm going to like more if AD sits because they're a lot worse in the pick and roll without him. Cooper flag points. I really don't bet rookies often. What are your thoughts on the over 17.5?
Can't be mad at it. He's separating himself as the rookie of the year. I love Con Knipple, and I think people are going to make it a conversation. By the end of the year, that conversation will be over with. I like it was numbers 18.5. He gets 17.5. I mean, he's crossed I think 7 of his last 8 he's over 20, including a 30-piece and a 42 ball. And I think that, the Sixers, we got bodies to throw at him, but if you've watched us play, we're not a great defensive team. Teams can get up and down against us. They can shoot threes. They can get out in transition. Cooper is 17.5. I like 18.5 as well. I'm not mad at it. And also on a back-to-back, the thing that separates Cooper Flag from a lot of rookies is that, one, he's got the body of an NBA guy, And I think that the motor is what separates these guys. Some of these dudes just have a different motor where it's like they can bang and adjust against grown ass men. You know what I mean? And I think that he plays his regular minutes, probably played close to 40 minutes tonight. And I think it's a competitive ball game straight down the stretch. I think he shouldn't have any problems getting around 20 points.
I will say, and again, I'm not a big home road split guy, but when it comes to rookies, I do pay a little more attention to it. It does look like he's had a lot more success at home this season than away, and this game is in Philly, correct?
It is, yep.
So, Ross, I will say he seemed to have a lot more success at home than on the road, although he's over this line in 3 of his last 4 road games. After about 10, you would expect maybe some of that to shake off. So I make the number 21, and I usually don't care about home road splits. Rookies are the exception, or maybe if you get a second-year guy that didn't play much, young players. But this is a really good young player, really composed young player. Ross, I lean over, bro, and my model leans over. The road splits is what I don't like, but I do lean over there, Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, I mean, also with Anthony Edwards, he's over 20 in 5 of the last 6 games they've played together. So like that's another thing. I think what people haven't realized, they've moved Cooper Flagg to the small forward, which is where he should have been playing to begin with. That whole fucking point guard experiment was stupid, right? And
agreed.
That's the reason why I like it. With AD in the lineup, he's actually scored the ball better.
It makes sense.
Last 5 games with AD, 23, 22, 19, 16 against OKC. I mean, who doesn't have a bad game against OKC? December, and then you got against Miami and against the Nuggets. I mean, these are 5 games, and in the 5 games where he went over, he cleared 21 in all of them. So not a bad sample size as far as like the most recent play with AD. I think that I would, like I said, I like it even more at 18 and a half, 17 and a half, 18 and a half, whatever number you get it at.
Yeah, this one is tough. I'm really torn because I like the over. I mean, is that home road stuff serious or is it fluff? I don't know because he's a rookie. I like the 18 and a half. I would not talk anyone off of it.
I'm not to cut you off. I'm kind of basing it for me, like with him, like kind of like the last 14 days. I wouldn't even go as, you know what I mean? Like 10 to 14 days because they've had a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, no, Clay moved to the bench. DeJounte or D'Lo's in and out of the lineup. Yeah, no, agreed.
So like, I just feel like, with him, like this is him hitting his stride. And like, I mean, if you're the number 1 overall pick and people have been putting the generational tag on you, then at some point you're going to have this run where it's like you average 20 for like a 10 to 15 game stretch. I think you kind of see him entering that realm of, listen, I am a guy and we're working towards getting Kyrie back so we can stop everybody talking about, hey, we need to trade people.
No, you're right. Like that's my other thought. That's why I think this one is so difficult. I worry about the road stuff. I do also kind of feel like he may be hitting that stride because he's looked incredibly well.
Also, I wouldn't mind seeing people. I'm also on it because of another reason, which is narrative based. He's getting to go play against VJ Edgecombe, a highly touted rookie on the other side, who people think is a conversation that they're maybe in the same conversation. Perfect opportunity to go up against VJ Edgecombe and serve him.
I didn't even think of that. You're so right. I didn't even think of that. Damn, dude, you're so right.
Not saying you gotta bet it, but these are all things that
what are you talking? Yeah,
just kind of some things that you really just think about. It's like, damn, like no, he's like I said, it like my first issue would have been like, hey, like how does he look with AD? You know what I mean? Because AD's in and out of the lineup, and it's like, well, he's becoming a consistent NBA player now. So it's Jaylen Brown officially listed as doubtful.
Damn, we knew that, bro. We knew that. We talked about it. We knew that shit was happening. That's why people tap in too, bro. It's about the plays at the end of the day, but it's also about so much information that we can give out. So, Chris Franklin, appreciate you for throwing that in the chat. Let me address the PJ Washington stuff. Sean, this is what I have to say. I'm upset with myself. This was 6.5, 130 this morning. I should have played it then. That line's moved to 7.5. There are plus monies on the 7.5. I make it 8. So I do think the PJ Washington over his rebounds is a good bet, even at 7.5 plus money. I just wish I got that 6.5, 130. There's a 150 out there now, but I just missed the opener. If this were 130 still, I'd be smacking it at 7.5. I'm not as interested in it. So what are your thoughts on PJ Washington rebounds?
I don't bet on PJ Washington.
Facts. That's good enough for me.
Nope.
Good enough for me. Clay's questionable. I've had success targeting his threes in certain matchups. I don't know if Philly's that matchup. He's also questionable. We're getting the 2.5 at plus money. Any thoughts on Klay Thompson?
And I'm the exact opposite with PJ Washington. I've been chasing wins with Klay Thompson. It's funny, me and Mike again. I got to reference Mike Jones. I'm a big Klay guy, bro. I'm a fan of Klay Thompson. So he's gotten my money a couple more times than he probably should have.
Yeah.
He's made me so much money in the past. I got a soft spot in my heart for the guy. He's made me a ton of money. He's also made me some money this year. I don't want to make it seem like he's lost me a ton. I'm not gonna lie. Beginning of the season, it wasn't looking good. It was not. He was fucking awful. I want to say he lost me like the first 6 bets I bet on him. I think I went 1-5. If he plays, not mad at it. Only because if you watch the Sixers and how we play defense, we really don't. We allow a lot of wide open shots. You watch us play against the Knicks last night. We won, but they missed a lot of wide open looks, and that's part of how we play. None of our bigs extend defensively. Joel is even worse. He's not guarding outside of 6 feet. Drummond's not guarding outside of 6 feet. Any big that can really shoot can get his shot and can force crazy closeouts to get an even better shot. So again, I'm not mad at picking anybody for perimeter shots against the Sixers. I just not willing to invest heavily in Klay tonight, even though Clay's my guy.
So when I say this, don't think I'm crazy. I wish Cooper Flagg had a little better jumper because of how the way Philly plays defense. You hit the nail on the head. I was just about to say it, but you said it. Philly's actually even worse defensively, specifically in the pick and roll when Joel Embiid plays. I think they're going to play drop on, the more we talk about this game, I think they are going to play a deep drop on Cooper Flagg. And he's got an okay mid-range game. I'm not saying his three-pointer's awful. It's just, and when I say I don't want you to think I'm crazy, his game right now reminds me a lot of LeBron when he first entered the league. Not the same athleticism, dunking the ball and everything, but just the ability to get to the cup, but not necessarily having the jumper. And I think actually Philly will try to make them beat him with even the mid-range jumper or the deep three jumper. I think we're going to get a lot of field goal attempts out of Flagg though tonight. And I think you're 100% right. They're worse defensively in the pick and roll with Embiid on the floor. Oh
yeah. And also I totally agree with you. You know why? First of all, no one is ever going to have the freakish twitch that LeBron has had. We can search far and wide. It's as far as the twitch, it's not even close. He's one of one in the history of the league. One of one. The thing about Cooper Flag, why he draws the comparison, is because of his physical makeup.
Exactly.
He's 6'8", 230, got an NBA body. So when he's moving at you, you don't realize how physically strong he is, because it's like, damn, this thing is 18. I'll be like, he's only 18 years old. He's got a grown man body. So I completely understand what you mean. It's because, you know, it's sacrilegious to compare anybody to LeBron James. You can't do that on the internet now. It's just
exactly.
I mean, even though Jalen Johnson's stat line over the last 15 games, the only other forward that's ever fucking done that is LeBron James. But who am I to, you know, point out facts, because you can't just put them in the same fucking conversation anymore.
That's a really good comparable as well.
You know what I mean? But you can't compare the two because he's not LeBron. And I get it, right? The production and what you're seeing, it's comparable to what we saw from LeBron James. Almost calling him LeBron James. We're saying based on the production and the way he gets his buckets, it's like LeBron.
I agree.
It's a fair assessment.
I lean over Flag's points. He's got to hit the jumpers tonight, even if they're the middies. I like it, though. I lean over the points. I think it's a good look. We actually had a couple requests on that. So I do like the Cooper Flag over points. Now, as a Philly fan, I've got to ask you this. Paul George's volume has looked incredibly good in 3 of the 4 games where they have all of their starters, 17, 17, 21, and then a dud versus my Lakers. Is that something, do you think we should expect similar volume from him tonight, or are those 3 outliers? What are you expecting on PG's volume tonight?
Honestly, I have no clue, because in those games that you just mentioned, Maxey didn't play, Embiid played, Maxey didn't play, Maxey played, Embiid didn't play. How do we even guess it? That's why I keep saying with anything here, we don't know. Because every one of those games, one of the high volume shooters didn't play. What if they all 3 play and he takes 9 shots tonight? Is it because it was a dud, or was it because the 2 guys that averaged 20 plus attempts played? It's just so difficult to guess with him.
That's my exact thoughts.
It's irritating because, you know, as a fan, you're like, you need continuity. My only hope as a Sixer fan is that with 25 games to go, they could get on the floor for like 18 of them.
Yeah. And that's really all they need in the East, bro. I mean, and Embiid has shown flashes of he's not as good as he was at his peak, but he's still a top 5 center in the league in his best moments. So if you can get that out of him in a playoff run, he's still the best center in the East. Oh,
without question. You know,
Towns is the second.
Towns is a 4, but
right, because Mitch, you know, they start him at the 5 sometimes.
Yeah. But I'm not going to hate on Cat. Cat's a special talent. We just grown accustomed to disliking him because he's a complete defensive liability, and then, you know, at times we just think he's soft.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, yeah, so I can't bet on PG in this game either. I will say if he has 15 or more attempts, I love this 16, but I would probably put his attempts between like 10 and 14 in this one. And then when you go look at that volume with or without the guys, I don't even know if 10's probably like the ceiling there. It's right around that 17 numbers. So yeah, I think Philly outside of, you know, if some people sit, I like to bet on Grimes. Actually, Edgecomb's RAs have printed, but that line used to be 7.5. Books are kind of hip to that now. But outside of Maxey, dude, I feel like Philly's a really hard team to bet on just because you don't know who's in and out of the lineup, what the rotations will be, what the minutes will be. Any other thoughts in the Philly game as a Philly fan?
The only dude, and it's kind of crazy, the only dude I felt really safe betting on outside of Maxey for the Sixers all year has been Drummond.
Yeah, especially without Embiid. Yeah.
Exactly, because you know, listen, his floor is 12 rebounds. Entering, and it doesn't matter who the matchup is. So it makes it safe. It makes it such a safe feeling. It's like, if I'm going to get his line at 7.5, why would I not hammer that? No matter, even if Embiid plays, because he comes in the game and he'll have 6 rebounds in 4 minutes. You know, so those have been the 2 most consistent players betting on for the Sixers for me, Maxey and Drummond, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, I want to take a minute to look at these Drummond rebounds. Because I agree with you. This is fine with or without. I don't care if Embiid plays or not at 7.5. I don't think.
Yeah, me neither. Not a 7.5 because if Embiid plays, he's still going to be on minutes restriction. They're not going to let him go out there for 30 minutes max.
Drummond, yeah, exactly. So that leaves about 18, 19 for Drummond. They should play like all of the 5 minutes, barring any foul concerns.
Yeah.
I'm showing a minus 148, but I want to go over to my odds screen and try to get. It's only one book. I don't know if I like it at 8.5, bro. I feel like these books they're pretty sharp on this line. I couldn't talk anyone off. So there's a 7.5, 138 at FanDuel. And I will be honest, that one's pretty tempting to me. You know, I don't think he's playing with let's say Embiid plays. He's probably got like an 18 to 25 over in 6 of 8. Now let's just out of curiosity with Embiid. Double in both them bitches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not scared to bet. I'm not scared to bet 7, 8. He's a rebounding machine. I will argue to say that like he is one of the top 10 rebounders of all time.
No arguments from me. I mean, we forget he was a max player in Detroit.
Yeah, I think that Drummond, if he's not top, he might be higher than that.
Yeah,
he might be higher than 10 if we're being honest. He's one of the greatest rebounders we've ever seen. It's just, you know, he's accepted the role of being a backup. But, like, there are starters who think rebounds per minute, he's the greatest ever of any player.
I'm glad you just said that because I was just looking. He's averaging 21.9 minutes, 9.5 rebounds, almost a rebound every other minute, which is just he's dominating the glass. We do have Lauri Markkanen announced out in the Utah game. Just putting that out there if you got anything in the Utah game you need to get to, but. No, I like the Drummond over 7.5 minus 138 at FanDuel. Another strong lean for me. I want to give Edgecombe a look real quick. Has he played well in back-to-backs? No, another rookie that I don't like in back-to-backs. Yeah, that'll probably do
it. He's been awful in some of those back-to-backs. He's been
terrible. That's what I was seeing. Yeah.
I mean, it's like not even like it's like terrible.
Yeah.
It just hasn't adjusted yet. It hasn't adjusted.
All right. So nothing official from either of us in this game. I'm waiting on some AD news. If AD plays, I'm taking, or does not play, I'm taking Maxey's threes for sure. If he does plays, I may still take it. That's my one real lean in that game, Maxey's threes. Nothing official for you?
Najee Marshall over 14.5 points. That's official for me. I've already bet that. I bet that at open.
Najee Marshall over PAs?
Yes, sir. That's official for me.
Cool. 3 plays out for the people so far. Let's go down to the Charlotte versus Detroit. Did we talk about this?
No, you said you didn't like it, though.
Yeah, I do. I do hate it. You
told yourself you weren't going to bet it.
Yes, agreed. Only thoughts were Drummond under 11.5 rebounds. Detroit rebounds the ball actually very well. It's the one thing they do well, and I think he could. Huh?
You mean Duran?
What did I say?
Said Drummond. You think you were like, oh, he's still but I understood why you did that though.
Yeah, and Drummond was the center for Detroit back in the day, so yeah, it makes sense. Duran under his rebounds. There were 11.5 this morning, so it looks like the books have already kind of moved the way I was thinking. That was my only thought. I agree. Con Knepels look good. You know, he should play well. You know, Duncan Robinson's printed for me this season. But again, this is a big spread. I don't really want anything to do with it. Do you have thoughts? Ross, I'm sorry. Ross, you've been tapped in, though, brother. You know I don't do these games.
Man, I can't even lie to you. I like Charlotte props in this one.
Okay.
I like Charlotte props. I'm right back rocking with LaMelo, man. I think LaMelo points at 18.5 is free. Look at his history against them. He scored 25 twice against this team this season. He had 35 and 25 last year. I'm sorry, last season when he saw them, he had 25 and 35. His rebounds and assists. I like his rebounds and assists. I like LaMelo to come out and hoop tonight against his team. He's got good numbers historically against them in his career when healthy. I also like him to continue off of what they did the other night. I think that this Charlotte team is way more talented than their record says. I really do believe that. And I think that he's also been placed. I think LaMelo's been placed in a situation where they can't trade him because he has his value on the market is as low as it gets. He's been hurt, he's been inefficient, and he's never attributed to winning in his life. So unless he shows some level of improvement in Charlotte, nobody's giving up the world to get him. And they done gave him a max contract, so he got to shut the fuck up and dribble. That's where we're at with him. You know what I mean? That's where he's at this point. I think that this is where you're going to see if it's going to be him, Miller, and Knipple. I think they're trying to build off of what you just saw 2 nights ago, and I hope and believe that that's the case. I think that this game is going to be a little bit more competitive than people think. I don't think Detroit just walks in there and smokes them. And I like LaMelo to flirt with a triple-double. I like his over RA. I like his over points. And I'm not mad at Knipple's threes. How could I not bet on Knipple's threes? He's been the most consistent three-point shooter to start an NBA career in the history of the NBA. It's not even actually close.
So this is what I'll say, and I absolutely hate that I agree with you completely. I make LaMelo's points 23 minutes in this game. You know, he played 36, then he was sub minutes, then he played 29 the next game. Minutes restriction should be off. What you're praying for is the game does stay competitive. It's a couple duds here when they lose by more than 10. If the game stays competitive, I love this. I'm at 23. And then again, I'll agree with Ross. I'm over the points and threes for Kniple. Strong leans over on each of these. Right now, if you go to profitprops.com and sign up for an account, you can log in and see what my projections are. Got LaMelo here. Now, I did do a minutes adjustment to LaMelo at 30. Because his minutes were pretty low in the last couple, my projections were low on the minutes. Once I up the minutes to 30, though, it's a clear over spot for me. The only thing keeping me off is the spread. But if you follow Charlotte, you follow Detroit, you think this game stays competitive, yeah, smack both of those overs. On the Detroit side of the ball, do you have anything?
No. I mean, Cade Cunningham's double-double as a parlay piece is about as safe as a nightly bet as you're going to get when he plays. I mean, yeah, like at minus 130 tonight, head-to-head, he's got a double-double in 3 of the last 4 matchups. Let's see. He's gotten the double-double. He's gotten the triple-double twice in the last 5 matchups as well. So, and he stuffs the stat sheet. 2 of the last 4 times he's seen them, he's gotten a triple-double. And like I said, and 3 of the last 4, he's gotten a double-double, no question. So his double-double is to me is I mean, at minus 130, I can't not. I think I don't see it being he's averaging damn near 10 assists a game. So
I agree with you. I would almost maybe just take the 10 assists if you can get somewhere near plus money. The rebounds are tough. I'm not saying he can't get it versus Charlotte, but if I'm betting the double-double, I've got in my mind he's going to get it through the assists. They're 28th in assists allowed per game. As you've mentioned, he's done the assists multiple times versus them, even though it was last season. Yeah, Cade assists, I like. Again, I'm staying off of this because of the blowout. And then chalk, I would actually be on Durant's under rebounds. The one thing that Charlotte's done well this year is rebound the ball. So no Durant rebounds over for me, and it's hard to bet his under, so that's why I'm not. Yeah, that's about all I have on the Detroit side of the ball. I like Cade's assists, but I don't like the spread. What is this? Damn. When they played well, he smacked the fuck out of his assists. I can't talk you off the K double-double or the K assist. The double-double's minus 130 if you think the rebounds have a shot, or you can get the assist 10+ around even money. I'm not mad at either one of those, bro.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson playing tonight. I've been high on him. I would be very careful betting on him. He got banged up last game, and I know he's like probable. Something that has won me had won me money over a stretch was his points and rebounds. It's kind of like fizzled out here over the last 5. He's over the last 6. He's 3-3 over the last 6 in regards to his points and rebounds. But prior to that, he had hit it in. He had hit it in 12 of 14 and 11 straight at one point. So his points and rebounds have been a bit of a cash cow. If you even put it back to like the last 20 or last 15, it just kind of fell off there recently. So like I caught that pocket there that you see where he won it, where it won every single night. He even took a couple of nights off and he came right back and it was no problem. So it's been equally as profitable as the threes. The problem is that we've seen a misprice with his threes. He's been so consistent with the 2.5 that we've had to pay extra juice if we were going to bet it. And then there'll be nights where he doesn't get the 4, and we're so accustomed to trying to get the better value that he'll cash the 3 on the app and it'll say he won the bet, but we were greedy and we bet the 4.
Yeah, so. And I will say this year I have been, and it's paid off. And you and I have talked about this, and in our agreement, some people just don't understand how odds and value work. But this season, if I see something that's minus 140, that I think that shit should be minus 200, minus 220, I'm betting it. Now, like you just said, I'm value hunting, right? So if I think there's value on the 4+, I might sprinkle that as well, right? But this season, I just don't give a shit what people think. You know what I mean? Like if it's minus 140 and it's a good bet, I'm betting it. If you don't want to bet it, don't. That's fine. But if it's minus 140, should be minus 200, I'm rocking it.
Facts. We're not financial advisors. So what makes you think we want to hear you try to advise us?
Right. You know what I mean? Like tap in or don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and it's not a disrespectful thing. It's just, there is no one way to do this. Everybody wants it to be like so cut and dry. If there was like a magic formula that I could like dispense to somebody, then I would do it, but there isn't. So it's trial and error, and also not being afraid to learn.
And honestly, like you just said, like there's so many ways to be a profitable bettor. The way I've done it from the start to now has changed. Like in the beginning, all I did is sit around all day and wait and see if one book moved, and then like go bet it at MGM before they moved. Like that's all I used to do was chase steam. Now, I'm limited everywhere, so I got to try a little harder and maybe originate my own edges and bet it that way. But exactly, there's so many different ways to win at this thing. So we're in agreement there as well. Let's move on to this Phoenix game. Try to get out of here in the next 20 or so minutes. We've got 4 games left. What are your thoughts here? Terrible matchup, the last matchup, and then he cooked him. I don't want to say he cooked him, but he had a great game the game before. What are your thoughts on Steph Curry tonight?
Love Steph. Vegas knows what they're doing in regards to his numbers. Head-to-head has not been a cash cow as far as like winning bets. I've got absolutely nothing in this game. I have not bet on the Warriors at all this year. I have not bet on the Suns at all this year, outside of maybe 3 or 4 times where I bet on Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen. That's it. I no interest in any action in this game at all.
I want to see if Kuminga plays and if they hang a line. If so, his unders are free 24/7, 365. Books just hand out money. So Kuminga's under. Steve Kerr hates this man. He must have slept with Steve's wife or something. His dog. I don't know if he's got kids. Like he did something to this man's family to get treated this way. Like this ain't no work beef. Him and Steve Kerr got real life beef somehow. I just don't know how. If we get a Kuminga line, I want to run that. I ran Gillespie under 5.5 assists. He had 5 in the last matchup. Grayson Allen is questionable. I like this with or without Grayson Allen. As long as Booker plays, Booker would be the only thing that worried me because his usage would skyrocket. So the under 5.5 assists, which has moved. Let me go shop around and see if I still like it or if there's any 5.5 left. Colin assist. Okay, this one has moved everywhere. All right, well, VIP got a good number. Damn, I don't know. That 4.5 is like right around what I think the fair price is. So I would probably stay off of it now, low key. Like, I'm trying to give you all the best value. I wouldn't chase the 4.5 plus money. I really like the 5.5. If Grayson Allen is officially out, we might get that number again, and then I would run it. But at the current prices, I'm not a big fan. What do you think about it at under 5.5 though?
You know what, bro? As far as Gillespie, I loved him when he was at Villanova. I stopped kind of following. Like I've seen him obviously ascend now and play better, but I haven't really bet on the guy. And the reason why I can't bet on either of these teams is because I don't really watch them. I that's part of it for me is like I like to be able to watch the teams that I bet on. I mean, that's why you get the league pass. And like these teams just do not interest me. Like when they had Kevin Durant, I probably bet a little bit on Kevin Durant, bet on Devin Booker. Obviously, there's pockets and times where you can get like where you can really bet on like Booker's assist. You get like really soft lines with him. But like I don't watch either of these teams, and it's hard to get me or convince me to bet on Jimmy Butler and Dylan Brooks. It's tough.
No,
I don't watch either of these teams.
The reason I have watched these teams is I've made a decent chunk of money betting on Devin Booker points under this season. I haven't betted in a while. He's kind of flipped the script, but there was definitely a point in the season here Booker, where he was absolutely struggling. 25 in the last matchup versus Golden State. Like, this number looks really good. What was his volume in that last game? 6 3-point attempts. What were his field goal attempts? 19. Now, that was the second matchup. 38 in the first this year. Yeah, obviously, I would not talk you into a Devin Booker under. He's been a Golden State killer, but that's why I have watched this team because I've bet some Booker unders. Also, I think they've played the Lakers twice. I still have nightmares of Colin Gillespie hitting 9 or 10 threes versus us. I think 6 in the fourth quarter put us to bed. So that was disgusting. I've also made some money fading the Warriors. I made some money on Steph overs. And as I mentioned, Kuminga's unders are free anytime they're posted. I've made some money on Royce O'Neal threes. I wonder what he did in the last matchup. He had 2, we've got a questionable Grayson Allen tag, so maybe some of those shooters with no Grayson, but Gillespie's under is going to be my only real prop in this one.
Yeah.
Orlando versus my bad. You good to move? My bad. I interrupt you. You good to go to the next one?
Oh yeah, no, I was just reading the screen. You said
okay. Yeah, Orlando versus Utah. This game should stay pretty competitive. We've got 7.5. Orlando's on the road. We do have some injury news. Markkanen's now officially out. Suggs is a game-time decision. We've also got Jonathan Isaac and Tristan Da Silva as game-time decisions. Everyone's going to want to talk about Keontae George in this one. Been playing out of his mind as of recently, but he's got a 27.5 line now because there's no Lauri Markkanen. Still looks good based off some of his recent performances. Just 2 games this year without Lauri. One of them was a blowout OKC, difficult matchup. And then he did cook my Lakers. I remember I cashed his PAs over in that game, all on points alone. Thoughts on Keontae?
One of my favorite players in the entire association. 2 years ago, I told everybody that he is going to be who the league wanted Markelle Fultz to be, and he's making me look exactly right. Games are identical. Has great feel in the pick and roll. Can attack with either hand. Can shoot the three now, which has really become more consistent. Can find his teammates. Rebounds the ball at a very high clip as well. I love this kid. Whether it's his points and rebounds, points and assists, I just don't see how you can go wrong because his usage is also through the roof.
Yeah.
His threes, I mean, he's hit 5 in 3 consecutive games, and the line's 2.5. How and minus 125. How could you go against it? I mean, I know Orlando's probably a better defensive team. That's the reason he hasn't hit 3 against them ever in his career. So I guess that's probably played into it. But I mean,
his role is so different this year. You know what I mean?
Exactly. His points and assists, how can I say no? His points and rebounds, how can I say no? His rebounds and assists, he's been just an absolute cash cow if you've been betting him. So I'm not mad at anything Keyonte George. Points and assists, probably my favorite look for him. I do have a couple looks in this game, though. I love Paolo Banchero in this matchup. I like his rebounds at 8.5. I like his points and rebounds for the game over 34.5. I think it's a matchup where he should be able to perform well. Obviously, he understands his usage needs to be through the roof or higher. Given no Franz Wagner coming off a season high of 16 rebounds against the Denver front line. His rebounds were one of my biggest plays of the season last game. So wouldn't mind taking the 8.5 rebounds solo. I believe he's got 9 in 2 of the last 3 times he saw Utah. And not too much has changed from the front line outside of it's gotten worse. Because that was against like a front line with Walker Kessler, no Lauri Markkanen tonight. I mean, if you're going to tell me that he's going up against a front line of Kyle Filipowski and who's the other and Yusuf Nurkic, I think that Paolo's in line for a great game.
I 100% agree with the rebounds. And yes, Utah is, in my opinion, and probably everybody's, the worst front line in the NBA right now.
Yeah, I mean, outside of probably Charlotte.
They might be worse than Charlotte.
You're right, because you're right, because Diabate and they got a little bit of potential. You're right.
Right. I mean, Filipowski can stretch the floor for you a little bit. So, I mean, I don't want to sound too hard on these guys, but no, I like Banchero's rebounds over. 100% agree with you there. I make that number closer to 9. Let me give you an exact number. 8.88 exactly. So I definitely like the rebounds over for Paolo. Let me go to my points and assists. What do you got?
Not to cut you off, but my brother. This Miami Texas A&M game is the drunkest football game I've ever seen in my life, bro. They score 0-0 at halftime, and the 3 teams have missed 3 field goals combined. It's like the worst football game I've ever watched in my life.
That's fine for me. I've got Texas A&M money line and Oklahoma plus 6.5. I need that game to fall right in between there.
We're on the other side. I'm on Miami.
I'm on both sides. I got plus 6 on Oklahoma, Miami money line.
Oh, you mean Texas A&M?
Yeah, my fault. Yeah, okay. I got both sides of that game. So just trying to middle it.
For sure.
I love the Paolo. What about Isaiah Collier? Dude, this guy was a cash cow for me last year.
Yeah, his minutes have been like weird.
Exactly.
And then, it's like I get it what they're doing. I don't. Well, but see, the thing is for me is like if you can't really play him on the floor with George because he's kind of useless with the ball not in his hands. He's a true point guard. So like he can't really him and Keyonte George. I bet they'd like for it to work, but their games just simply do not work together, and that's the problem.
Yeah, Keyonte playing so well as the ball dominant player really affected the dynamic of, I think, even how Utah thought they'd look coming into the season. You called it. I didn't see the explosion that he's had this year from Keyonte. So I was really high on Collier. I still think he's a good player. It blows my mind when he plays less than 20 minutes because, he's not going to get you a 20 ball every night, but he is a good facilitator. So, yeah, no, I like his assists over tonight, but that spot's always been like hit or miss for me, and I agree with you 1,000%. If you gave me 24 more minutes, I'm taking this. I can't lock him in at 24 more minutes tonight.
And also, this isn't that he's not good. It's just that we don't understand how the coach decides on this stuff.
Exactly.
That's the thing. It's like we go into a game and we'll see him get a game, and then you'll see the numbers and you're like, well, how is the coach deciding on this? Like, how is he? Are they getting blown out all the time? Like, you know what I mean? And if they're not getting blown out, how is he coming off the bench and not getting this number of minutes? It just, but the production is there. As you know, I mean, it's still there. It's just how many minutes can you play him and Keontae together, and it's effective.
Yep. No, I agree, bro. Yeah, at 20 plus, I really like his assists, and I understand there's a ceiling probably of like 28, 29, but even in that sample, I mean, last 20 in that sample. What are they in assists allowed per game? Orlando, they are very good. They're third, so, that's not a great look. But Isaiah Collier assists over is a very strong lean of mine. Let's just kind of go through the rest of these players here. Wendell Carter, any thoughts? PR unders have been printing for me this season, but obviously Utah's not a game you want to attack that. Any thoughts on Wendell?
You think he can fight?
Do I think he can fight?
Yeah.
Oh, because he's with Angel Reese. You trying to take his girl?
I'm just saying, man. You think he can box?
Oh man, nah, that's funny. That's about all I have as well. Do you think Wendell can fight? What about Desmond Bane? We'll do Bane, and then we'll do the Bane stuff, and then we'll move on. You got anything on Desmond?
His threes. Yeah, I'm not mad at him. Putting up threes. Teams can perform well from the 3-point line against Utah. Didn't he sit out the last game? Didn't he sit out the game against Denver?
Nope, 8 assists.
He played against Denver. I'm trying to think, did they sit anybody against Denver?
Did Suggs play?
I'm not sure. Did they sit anybody?
I'm checking right now.
Oh, I feel like somebody said. I could be wrong.
Yeah, Suggs and De Silva were both out.
Right. I remember because what's it called? The reason why was because I'm used to betting on Anthony Black and him coming off the bench and getting the backups, and he started the game against Denver. That's what had threw me off.
Because his RAs have been money.
And then he started, and what does he do? Lay a fucking egg.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as his other stats, he put up points though. His points went. I think he had like a dub. I think he had like close to 20 points. I think he had like 20 the first game back, or the game without Suggs.
22.
Yeah, so he hooped.
He hooped.
But it took away from all the other stuff. He couldn't get an assist or a rebound.
Honestly, though, his minutes are kind of like really solid at like 27 or more right now. PRA stuff might not even be a bad read in this game. Because Utah, they're going to give up the rebounds. They're going to give up the assists. Hey, bro, we talked about Keontae. We're both liking his over points, PRs. Keep an eye on my timeline. I probably go over 27.5 there. Ace Bailey, I don't bet on rookies, but I'm not mad at the overs without Laurie. Anthony Black, I do lean over RAs. That's going to be my thoughts as far as Anthony Black is concerned. And then Bane, I lean over the assist, but the price is whack. You see he's over and back-to-back. I do lean over that assist price.
Which one would be better, Murphy over 14.5 or Najee? I like both. I might read the comments. I like both, bro. I mean, I think I like Murphy to get close to 25.
No, I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't.
All right, 2 more games to get through. Huge slate. So Sosa, I appreciate you tapping in. I try to keep these around an hour, but a 10-game slate's kind of tight. Kind of tough to do that. Portland, let's talk about injury news. First of all, Zach LaVine is still out. Sabonis, I think I saw, is out another four weeks or so. Eubanks is out. McDermott is questionable on the Portland side of the ball. Holiday's still out. Scoot's still out. Dame's out for the season. Jeremy Grant is questionable. Do you have any thoughts in the Portland versus Sacramento game tonight?
Not mad at Donovan Clingan, brother. No real bigs on the other side He just played these guys the other night. He had 19. His points are at 10.5. 10.5. Wouldn't mind a double-double. He came short. He pulled up a little short the other night. His double-double tonight's at plus 135. Not mad at Clingan's points or Clingan's double-double.
I agree. I'd even be fine with the PRs.
Yep, not mad at that either. I think it's a good matchup. No real bigs to get in his way. If we're being honest, he should be able to perform well. I mean, he's going up against a rookie and Maxime Renaud, who I'm actually a fan of. I was pretty high on him entering the draft. It was like a 4-year guy at Stanford. Was incredible. Was very, very good, and I think he has a future in the league. But again, I do like for Clingan to perform well. Not mad at anybody betting on Toumani Camara or even Denny Advia. I think Denny is at this point now where he's going to be in a tight conversation for an All-Star. Also, let me see if anything in particular that he's been great at in regards to playing against this team. This is a thing too. He's because of his numbers and usage, you don't get like a great read on like the rest of his lines because
I know
you have stuff where like he was in Washington, and then you have like the small sample of in Portland, and then you have like the sample of in Portland where he has no point guard and he's been really, really good. So it's kind of tough with me for betting on Denny. Only other thing that kind of piqued my interest was Shaedon Sharpe's points. Shaedon Sharpe's been really, really consistent scoring the basketball. He's coming off a 26-piece against this team. The last 3 games, he's gone 22-plus against them since, and the matchups haven't really changed much. And the last time, obviously, it's the last time he played them was a couple of days ago with the same sort of situation. The same players aren't going to play, so not mad at anything that has to do with Shaedon Sharpe possibly scoring the basketball. Sacramento's not going to offer a high level of resistance anyway.
So I 2 thoughts. Denny, agree with, but for me, it's like if I get a 24.5, it's an auto bet. Otherwise, I usually stay off. And then Shaedon Sharpe, I like the over because I do like the volume. I think he's going to have 15 or more field goal attempts tonight. He had 22 last time these two played, 22. Yeah, so 15 or more feels really fair, right? This season when he has 15 or more. Well, he's over in 7 of his last 10. He did start off. He was struggling early season, but also I think we've got a floor of like 28, 29 minutes tonight. Yeah, I like Shaedon Sharpe. You could even go like that's 24.5. I thought it was 22. I was going to say I like him up to 25, but that is the line. Yeah, I like them both. I would probably lean a little bit more on Shaedon Sharpe there. Anything on the Kings side of the ball? I like Westbrook's assists over 7.5, but they were pretty juiced this morning. 7.5. Oh, there might be a 125 out there. I would be interested in that line. 8.5 plus money, less interest. What are your thoughts on Westbrook?
I love Russ. He's one of my favorite players, but at this particular juncture, I've just not been betting on him, bro.
His assists have been nice, but you got to pick your spots.
Yeah, again, and it's just another team that I can't bear to watch. I think that the Sacramento Kings are just a failing organization, and I just don't give those teams the time of day, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with them. It's just like I do not watch them at all.
Yeah.
And the only, like I said, I will tell my friends, you know what I mean? So, like, if you tell me you like a play, I will consider betting it. I will, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that you're doing a level of research. I personally, I can't give any analysis because I haven't been betting on the guy.
One thing that needs to be said, sometimes your best bet, anybody's best bet, is the bet you don't make.
Correct.
Exactly. So, okay, Prop Builder is at -105. Profit X is at -03. There's a lot of width on this over for Westbrook. I like the over 7.5 assists a lot. If you have a book that'll allow you to get it, that market's moving around. So keep an eye on the timeline. If I get like a painted 7.5, 130, I'm betting this. And it looks like it's going that way, but I'll be patient with it. Those are my specific thoughts in this game is Russell's assists over. Just want to see if I can get a little better number.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the last game. Lakers fan, been on here almost 2 hours. Let's get through this. As a Lakers fan, I am worried. We're down Ayton. We're down Reeves. Rui's questionable. Gabe Vincent's out. No one gives a fuck about Christie. On the Clippers side of the ball, Derek Jones Jr. has been out. Beal's out for the season, so nothing really new on that side of the ball. Do you have any thoughts in this Lakers versus Clippers matchup tonight?
I like the Clippers on the money line. I like the Clippers to win the game. Like you said, the Lakers just simply reeling their front lines in trouble. I think the freest cash in the game is going to be the double-double from Ivica Zubac. He's got a double-double in 5 of the last 6 games straight up. That's regardless of anybody being out of the lineup. This isn't even like taking into consideration that their best part of their front line's gone. I would not be surprised if Zubac 16 plus rebounds tonight.
As a Lakers fan without Ayton in there, yeah, 100% agree. His PR is probably a good look.
His rebound ladder is just staring me in the face right now. I feel like that's just what you got to do. He's got, keep in mind, he's got 3 matchups against the Lakers, which he had 16, 19, and 19 rebounds. That's a game. This is insane.
Yeah, no, he's dominated them. And that was probably versus Jackson Hayes. Some of those, there might be some AD stuff in there, but there's some Jackson Hayes domination.
He also makes it no qualms about it. He does not fuck with the Lakers.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Because they let him go. Obviously you guys let him go and he was Kobe's guy and they didn't even think to offer him a contract, end up with the team in the same building.
Where did he go? Because it wasn't the Clippers first, right? Was it
Minnesota? It's straight to the Clippers. Yeah.
Okay. I thought he had a stop in between there, but it was straight to the Clippers. Okay.
Right to the Clippers and Zubac, bro, he's making a good look for himself. He's getting paid well too. He's proven himself in the NBA as like a consistent big double-double every night. He's also only 28 years old. I thought he was older than what he was. I didn't know he's not even 30 yet. He's averaging 16 and 11.5 this year. 61%. He's the last couple of years, he's been really good.
Yeah, he's in an argument. Obviously you've got Jokic and Sengun, but after that, Rudy Gobert's a great defensive player, but he's one of the best centers in the Western Conference. You got to give him that.
I have a question for you. What position does Wemby play? Right?
Well, what I'll say is they don't really run him and Cornette together at the same time. So, right. You'll call him the 5, but he reminds you more of like a stretch 4. He's comfortable, he's comfortable on the perimeter. This man shoots step back 3s. And I don't mean like a Karl Anthony Towns step back. Like it's like a Kevin Durant step back.
Right. He's like mixing you first.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I think he's like
he's a 2, 3, 4, 5.
Positionless 5 or a 0.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why when you said that, I was just like, well, Zubac is clearly a 5, but it's like, man, like, is Wemby a 5?
Wemby's clearly much better. I'm not trying to make that.
It's not even that. It's just like,
how do you classify him?
Yeah, like what is he for real? I mean, he's the biggest guy on the floor, but it's like he's fucking running point.
Exactly. So yeah, no, when you put it like that, I will say another moneymaker for me this year has been John Collins PR unders. Again, this is a when you got to pick your spots with this number. I laid a lot of 18.5, 19.5 unders. It was while Kawhi was working his way back from injury. Minutes were kind of more sporadic for Kawhi. Ever since then, I've kind of stayed off of this line. If it's not 18 or 19, I'm not interested. But any thoughts on like a John Collins tonight?
No, but what I will forewarn or warn people joining that are judging the Clippers right now. Do not be surprised if the Clippers are right there for the play-in, 75 games in.
Yeah, they've got a talented team.
And then all the shit that people have talked, it might catch up to them. And do not be surprised if it all catches up to people.
Now, I'm a Lakers fan, so I've talked my fair share of shit on the Clippers, and I will continue to because people told me coming into the year that they were much better than the Lakers, and now we can barely see them at the bottom of the standings. But, yeah, no, I as a Lakers fan, it is my duty to shit on the Clippers every chance possible, and it's been a good year. It's been a good year to shit on them.
Yeah. Especially after overpaying players just to suck. Sucks to suck, for real.
Any thoughts on Harden tonight? He played well in the last matchup. So this is, how the Lakers play defense. You know how JJ likes to pack in the paint. So do they overcommit on Kawhi? Do they what are your thoughts here? As a resident Lakers fan, I wanted to run a PA Harden under because of how JJ will collapse and then try to force the ball out of his hands. And I don't think the Clippers are surrounded with a bunch of great shooters. So it's going to be a lot more putting the ball on the floor, getting to the rim, getting your buckets, almost like a hockey assist out of Harden there. I'm scared, though. He played really well in the last matchup. What are your thoughts on how they defend Harden and then how he reacts?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that this could turn into a game where him and Luka end up going man for man at some point.
Very well could, yes.
You look at these teams. Like, I like the Clippers. Defensively, they aren't what they used to be. I mean, Kawhi's not what he used to be. Those other guys that they try to mix and match in to play defense, they're liabilities on the offensive side because they're, like you mentioned, their skill sets don't necessarily fit with James Harden.
Yeah,
so what you're going to end up having is you're going to put yourself in a situation where it's them two versus each other, and you're going to see a whole lot of dribbles and a whole lot of picks at the top of the key, and it's going to be them at some point in the game, whether it's the 6-7 minutes left in the second quarter and then halfway through the third, at some point in this game, it's going to be James Harden and Luka Doncic basically just mixing each other for about 5 minutes straight. I definitely believe that's part of it. No Reeves again tonight, right?
No Reeves.
Yeah,
no,
I mean, and so what do you think is going to happen? It's going to be Luka trying to go for 40.
That's for sure. And then I do think Harden responds. Also, the more we talk about this, no Ayton. So when Hayes is off the floor, as a Lakers fan, I don't even know who's going to be at the 5. That's scary.
Layup lines.
Yeah. So I can't bet any Harden unders tonight. No, I can't bet any Harden unders tonight.
Yeah, listen. What is that Luka Doncic, James Harden triple-double ticket looking like? What is that looking like?
We throw Sengun on there and just fucking throw the ski mask on tonight.
Plus 2,800.
There's a 31 at DK. They kind of wild. They're crazy for that.
So what's Luka's? Luka's got to be like sub 3 because he had one a couple nights ago. He just keeps coming off a triple-double.
And there's no Reeves. It's probably plus 200, no Reeves.
Luka's 240. 240 on FanDuel.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say something like ridiculously low, no Reeves. But agreed, not mad with it. I mean, usage percentage is going to be near 40 tonight. So Braun's assists, I think could be a good look. let's see how Luka did in the last head-to-head, though. He had a 40 ball, 9 boards, 13 assists. Yeah, the Luka triple-double is a good look at plus 240.
Yeah, I mean, you brought the usage, bro. I would love to have like an active counter on how many dribbles Luka Doncic makes in a game.
Seriously.
Because it's just like the ultimate proof that like the whole like move the ball shit don't work for everybody. It doesn't work for every team. You know what I mean? Especially if you have a good coach that knows what they're doing and how to put your players in position. Like,
would you agree that Harden is better suited to adjust to how the Lakers play defense than Kawhi?
Yeah, because they have no rim protect. No, I think they both can, but I think that Kawhi, I think they both can be equally as successful, bro. I mean, you don't really have any high level point of attack defenders like at all.
I agree with you there. What I think is with the drop, Harden is better suited to take advantage of it on like a pull up deep 3. Now, Kawhi's mid-range is incredible. It's always been incredible, and he can shoot the 3. I'm not saying he's a bad shooter. I'm just saying Harden is a much better off the dribble pull up 3-point shooter. We can agree on that, right?
Absolutely. No,
but if Ayton was playing, I would probably run Kawhi's under right now. But no Ayton. Not only do we not have a point of attack defender, the best one is probably Marcus Smart, and he's 6'2". We also have no interior defense today. As much as I want to run that Kawhi under, because say what you want about the Lakers defense, JJ Redick schemes well. And I think they're going to do a good job of kind of sitting in Kawhi's lanes tonight. And again, if you're going to beat the Clippers, you're going to want somebody like you want Collins to go off, or Chris Dunn hitting threes, or so I like the Kawhi under stuff. I do like the Kawhi under stuff. If Ayton played, it'd be a no doubt for me. But I mean, it's going to look bad with Jackson Hayes. I'll give you that. I'm at 23-7-2 though, so I do lean under there.
For sure. Oh man.
Last but not least, let's talk about LeBron. Well, we talked about Luka, triple-double. I mean, I don't think – are we in agreement you could bet over everything and probably be fine?
In regards to LeBron?
Luka.
In regards to yeah. Come on, man. I mean, Luka's going to play 40 minutes tonight. He's going to take any shot he wants. He's going to – every single offensive action is going to be veered towards him, except for the minutes he comes off the floor. And I think what you'll know as a Laker fan is they'll stagger his minutes with LeBron, and they'll run the offense the exact same way with LeBron. He'll just replace Luka in the lineup, and they'll run it the same way when Luka's out the game. Pretty self-explanatory based on the pieces they got, especially if they don't have Ayton, who's like the best roller and best big on the team, and Noah Reeves, who's like that emergency shutoff valve as far as go get a bucket if I can't, Yeah,
I agree. LeBron points and assists, I do lean over. Without Reeves, numbers look pretty good this year. I would lean over. My fear there is Zubac is a really good interior defender. But the older LeBron gets, the more he's leaning on that pull up and that 3-point jumper. So LeBron over PAs, I couldn't really talk you off of. We've got a lot of injury news left to go through in today's slate. We've got 3 official plays for y'all. And if you listened, a bunch of leans. Basically, this whole sheet is leans that we went over today. A lot of that we're waiting on injury news or whatever the case may be. Sosa, I appreciate you tapping in. I do want to be out of here within 2 hours, which we're coming up on. Anything you want to say to the audience, promote your Twitter at Sosa Picks. I've got you tagged. Call in the shots. We're there every morning, Monday to Friday, right?
Yes, sir. Monday through Friday for major slates. Moving a lot of stuff to YouTube coming here in the next couple of weeks. The new year is going to be fucking fantastic. Glad that we were able to lock in together. Obviously, we know each other off the internet. And just grateful to get into new content and more consistent content with folks, especially people that are like-minded or people whose expertise I trust. So do appreciate you having me. and look forward to continuously making this a thing.
Yeah, we'll definitely try to get you back on next week. And the YouTube is Daily Bread Network.
Daily Bread Network, yes, sir.
Yep. So make sure you guys are following Sosa over there on Daily Bread Network and at Sosa Picks on X. Anything else?
Best of luck. Hope everybody wins today.
Yep. Best of luck, y'all. We appreciate y'all for tapping in. Best of luck tonight. We will. Actually, I don't know if I'm streaming tomorrow. Sundays are kind of like a preliminary rest day. If I like the card, I'll go. If not, I'll see you Monday. But until then, y'all, best of luck tonight. We'll catch y'all then. Let's go.
Peace.
All right, brother.